All right, folks, I'm just kind of getting set up here. You know what? I'm going to pull out of I'm at the gas station. It does look like we might get some weather ahead of us. We'll see what happens there. It looks definitely darker as I look towards Minneapolis. Let me... I need to set a couple things up real quick, and then I'll pay attention to you folks over there on the chats. Oh, that's not the right thing. Ah, stupid iPad. Hey, Friesino. And thank you for the understanding the reference, JBat. Yeah, Dorothy, it looks like it's going to be a little bit rainy up there. We'll see how that goes. As I like to tell most of my friends, humans are mostly waterproof, so that shouldn't be too bad. We'll definitely see what's happening over there. Sorry, I need to make a couple of messages here real quick. Subscribers, any duration. All right, I think I am ready. Hi, Friesino. Hi, JBot. Hey, Dorothy. Bridge. Hey, Never and Nana. Thanks. So we'll definitely see what's going on over there. I'll have some time to wait this out. I don't, like I said, I don't plan on being out there until probably 12:30, 1 o'clock. We are heading through a big old driveway parking lot here. I saw that Declared Dave is live, so he's probably doing important content. Me, I'm just going to show you a little bit of highway between here and Minneapolis. We're maybe 45 minutes out, I think. Let me look and see. We got up about 3:30 this morning and headed out here. Had a good crowd, good conversation, good chat. Really enjoyed talking with everybody. Welcome back, DTS. I'm Mitaz. All right. As soon as I get on the highway and I don't have to concentrate so much, I'll give you an update on the foodses and how we've been doing. Hello, Tony Sark. I know very little Italian, so I'm guessing bonjour. So We are headed up to St. Paul. Tomorrow is the celebration of life for my Tony. This morning we've been on the road for maybe 4.5 hours so far. We've seen Rockford, Illinois. We've seen Madison, Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Dells. Ooh, a little bit of drizzle on the windshield. You might start seeing that. Oh, you're going to see the flicker of the windshield wipers. We plan on going to the org, the St. Paul org. I was planning on getting there going there sometime around 1 o'clock or just beforehand. That is usually when people are returning from lunch, just to see how the organization is set up. Later on this afternoon, Natalie, I don't know how that rain sounds on the phone. Sorry about this, folks. Later on this afternoon, Natalie and a couple others are going to go to the airport and pick up the plane travelers, and they will head straight to the org and do some protesting. I do have some chalk with me. Hey, the rain maybe helps us out a little bit there. Okay, good. Dorothy's giving us a weather report. I need Clearwater Chad on here to give us the weather report. Good to hear, Tony. I am somewhat fluent in English. People can tolerate my English. It definitely. So there's some darkness ahead of us. I see some dark clouds. You probably see it. You know, that line of darkness there, and I can see the rain coming off of it. And then it looks a little bit lighter past that. So we'll see how that goes. I am so sorry if this rain is probably very loud on the phone. I'm not using sound isolation today. I've just got it, using the ambient microphone. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have several waves of this, so definitely appreciate your patience. So, we stopped at Denny's, and by the way, Denny's is still to me a diner, and I do like Denny's, but I will say that it's the least favorite of my diners. I would much rather go to a town square diner or a one-off diner. I just like those so much more than you get there. But it was, fine. I love eggs. I'm a breakfast person. If people would let me, I would eat breakfast 3 times a day. Growing up, I used to love when my mom was the cook in the house, but my dad, every once in a while, he'd have cooking duty, and it went one of 2 ways. He would cook liver and onions. By the way, that's the bad way. We don't like liver and onions. Or he would make us pancakes or eggs or something, omelets. So that was always awesome. Loved that. Let's see if I can get around this boat. All right. Oh no, Frisino, I'm probably only 40 minutes away. And what I might do is when I get into town, drive to the organization, maybe do a lap around it, look at it, but stay in the car just to kind of get a lay of the ground. Something else is, maybe I'll take you guys over to the Mississippi River. It's beautiful to see the river. There's Fort Snelling. What else do we have here the actual St. Paul Cathedral, right, which is the namesake for the town, St. Paul. is a beautiful church here, a Catholic church. uh, Monte Carlo was in the right lane, and he decided he wasn't going to let me pass him. I've got the cruise control set, so I was just going. Yeah, when I would say you're right about that, Frizino. About 45 minutes ago in the drive, anyhow, right? So I stopped for probably 45 minutes for breakfast. We did have a signal problem, and the filming went out or stopped for a period of time. J-Bat, liver and onions is, to me, I don't like the taste of it at all. But the more aggressive element of it, it smells terrible when it's being cooked. Um, it's on par with microwaving fish. Now, there are some things that I kind of do like. The chicken liver is a liver that I like, and I have had beef offal before, right? I've had beef tongue. I like beef tongue. I love beef heart. Um, just not a fan of the liver. And I'm sure there's better ways to. My dad would basically, it was a sliced, lean-looking piece of meat. He'd slice it up and it just fried in the pan. Yeah, I no longer have my mom, but I would say that she was great, and it was where growing up, my family, we'd buy half a cow a year, and it was just really cheap to buy it that way, much more affordable than if you went to the grocery store for it. And we had a chest freezer in the garage, so we brought it home and froze it. We probably had steak 3 times a week growing up, and it would always, steak was usually a treat in my neighborhood. We were not wealthy people, and so when friends would say, "Oh, we had steak last night," I go, "You guys don't have steak every night?" Right? But just so happens the way that I grew up. Yeah, oxtail. So, and again, I don't mean this to be pejorative, but if you think about the black population in the South, as they come out of slavery into sharecropping, they're still not wealthy, and they have to take the leftovers in regards to vegetation and in regards to proteins. So things like neck bone or oxtail in a soup, oh my gosh, and the flavors you can get out of that, and turnip greens, mustard greens. It's just amazing how flavorful those are, and that to a well-to-do family, that would be poor people food, right? But at the end of the day, it's really damn good food. Yeah, when I was really young, I used to be a butcher, and right, as you'd make some of the, if you do the ground meats, right, you've got the leftover bones, and as you'd make some of the steaks, you'd peel away the bones, and those bones would go for pennies when I was a kid, and it was either soup or dog treats that you would get out of that. And nowadays, you pay a premium even for soup bones when you're at the butcher. Howdy, Amy. Hey Ruby, that's a new name to me. Sorry if you've been in before, but welcome. Kind of just looking at the chat a little bit. So my setup on the road, I've got my phone. I found this really neat. You know what? I'll have to put it in the listing sometime. There's a suction cup with an extendable um, arm on it. So the suction cup is on the window, but the phone is underneath the the visor or the covered part of the car. Because historically, whenever you put a phone out there on the windshield or on the dashboard, it's going to bake in the sun. So I like this, that it's probably sitting 2.5, 3 inches behind where the sun can hit it. So I've got, that's what's streaming. So unfortunately, even though I am using StreamYard, I can't really mark comments or anything like that because I couldn't be an attentive driver at that point in time. And then I have an iPad that is set up in the center of my console so that I can kind of watch what we're talking about and see if I can chat in there. By the way, the conditions are nowhere near as bad as that that video looks. I am not looking to build a boat yet. I don't think I have to start collecting animals 2x2. Yeah, originally I was wondering if I was going to try to use a GoPro and stream, and my understanding is that's the way that Liz Ferris does it. And we talked a little bit, but I wasn't, I didn't want to do it as the first thing. So, I never practiced it, and I just said, you know what, let me figure out a way to get my phone out of the sun, and we'll see if that'll work. Hello, Parody. I think that we're going to go through a few little waves of these rain spurts, and then they'll fall away. I can see clear skies ahead of me. Darn it, what is the song? Blue skies are still rainy clouds are going to clear up. Put on a happy face. We are still in Wisconsin, but just barely. We're hanging on by a thread. So this next exit is going to be exit 10. And as we learned from my highway trivia earlier, exit 10 means that we're 10 miles from the border. Now, you know what? I do want to amend that statement. And I can't remember which ones, but there are a few states that used to use ordinal numbering. So exit 1 was the first exit from the border. Exit 2 was the second second exit from the border. But the problem with that is that if you put in a new exit, then your numbering was all goofy, right? And inevitably, you would put in a new exit. So most states, the exit markers are mile markers. We're on I-90. I'm trying to, Fresino, 53. If we're back in Illinois, 53 is a state highway, and that kind of takes you from Joliet south to Wilmington and beyond. And then 55 takes you down to Springfield through the heart of the state. 57 is the interstate that's closer to the Indiana border. But yes, Angie has it right. We're on 94. Yeah, Parody, are you in Texas? I'm hearing a lot of nightmare stories from folks down in Texas where the power's been out for quite some time. I have a friend in Houston, and they've been out since the hurricane came through. Amy, strangely, I feel very energized by this. Now, I will tell you that if I sit down on a park bench, I can go to sleep in a heartbeat. But as long as I stay active, I'm fine. Oh yeah, Parody, that's got to be tough. I'm I'm only going a little bit from memory, but south of Houston is, well, Mexico for one, but Galveston. Yeah, we're past Eau Claire. So we're on 94 past Eau Claire, heading into the Twin Cities. And Mr. GPS says that I'm 16 miles to the next turn, and I'm 24 miles from the St. Paul Cults of Scientology. And just to remind everybody, I have a bit of an affinity for St. Paul, mostly based upon my name. Yeah. Glenn Campbell was another one that I listened to, and he was a superstar TV guy. And so, not a Glenn Campbell story, but who remembers who Glenn Campbell's wife was? His first wife. Howdy, Nancy. And I have to wait and give you guys a chance because you're on about a 10-second delay from me. I think it's really just the Twin Cities because they're two cities right next to one. They grew up as two small towns, and then they smashed into one another as they grew up. It is funny. It's adversarial. If you're a Minneapolis, if you live in Minneapolis, you will do whatever you can to put down people from St. Paul, and if you live in St. Paul, you will do whatever you can to put down people from Minneapolis. All right, then maybe it wasn't his first wife, but at one point he was married to Tanya Tucker, and it was very strange because Tanya Tucker was very, very young compared to him. Probably 15, 19 years younger. And many moons ago, I was in Massachusetts, and I was a very good Western dancer. So I would be able to make money teaching people how to dance. And I got in with some radio stations out there, and they would bring me to concerts. And I went to a concert out on the Cape, and it was a Tanya Tucker concert. And she was known for being kind of a wild girl. And we end up in a hotel suite where most of the musicians and the radio station are partying and having a good time. Wait, Glenn Campbell was never married? What am I thinking something wrong here? Oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry. That I didn't know. Thank you. So apparently they were engaged, but they never actually got all the way to married. Anyhow, it gets to be kind of late in the morning, and we haven't seen Tanya Tucker for a while. And all of a sudden, she comes into the hotel room, and she's a little bit snookered. She is in a tiny little red dress on all four legs, or on her hands and knees, and she's barking like a dog. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is a country music superstar right now, and she's gone crazy. Howdy, Lady Jane out. We are kind of, I think that from this point in, not sure if it's showing up on the camera as much again because I've got you on telescopic or telephoto. We've got frontage roads on both, or frontage streets on both sides of the highway here. We're going to be pretty much in city all the way until we get across the Mississippi and over towards New York. We cross the Mississippi very quickly, or very shortly. But Glenn Campbell was one of those guys who, started out as a singer, and then he had a variety show. Did a little bit of acting. We saw him in a few things. Another country singer that kind of did that, Buck Owens, was in that realm. Chris Christopherson, Johnny Cash, Elvis. I'm going to say Elvis was originally a country singer. So you're seeing the water. So this is, I think this is a backwater of the Mississippi. This isn't the main channel. Yeah, so this is the St. Croix River. Sorry. I gave you bad info. So we're going over the St. Croix River right now. Yep, Rhinestone Cowboy. Earlier we talked about Johnny Cash. When I was younger, I did meet Johnny Cash. I might have been 9 or 10 years old. I didn't realize what great... I knew his music very well. I just didn't realize what an icon I was meeting. Tanya Tucker had a couple of songs that I really liked, right? There's a tree out in the backyard, and the reason it's still standing, it was strong enough to bend, right? And I think that that's one of the things that I sometimes wish that that the negative things that are happening in the community right now are just people that are unwilling to bend, right? So Minnesota welcomes you. We're no longer in Wisconsin. Yep, I am a lineman for the county. All right, so we're all gonna go have a party at Ann's house next. Ann, do you have any surly? I've got a number of friends who live here in Minneapolis, and they run for the Twin Cities running, or Mill Cities running team. On the earlier stream, you got to listen to me sing a little bit of Peter, Paul, and Mary. One that you didn't hear me talk about, but It's Hard to Be Perfect by Ray Stevens. Or Hard to Be Humble, sorry, by Ray Stevens. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I can't wait to look in the mirror 'Cause I get better looking each day. All right, no more singing. I need to have Mindy or Lara on the channel to do the singing, or Lori. Lori plays phenomenal. Oh, we've been uninvited from Anne's house. Oh, wait, or maybe it's just that Anne doesn't have any Surly. And by the way, Surly it's a brewery up here in the Twin Cities. St. Paul, 11 miles. Minneapolis, 20 miles. Looking pretty clear here for a while now. Afton Alps ski area. I have to imagine that's not a big hill. Around here, I would guess that it's a toboggan hill. Yes. We are darn close. Oh, I like that parody. And, you know, Jerry Jeff Walker, great music as well. You know, on the earlier show, I had mentioned this, that traditionally, whenever I listened to music, I was listening to music that was 25 years old. And I always had the belief that if people are still listening to it after 25 years, it's probably good music. Whereas pop music, I don't know if it'll be cool or not. We're coming into Lake Elmo. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a drive-by of the church right now, just to kind of look at it. Then I think we'll go by the St. Paul Cathedral. Maybe we'll take a walk along the Mississippi River. I've got the phone on a battery pack right now, so it should be strong enough, charged strong enough. Oh, and don't worry, I'll have our friends clean. So everybody who's going to Anne's house, make sure that we help her clean. And that's awesome that you're alcohol free. I still enjoy the barley soda. Definitely feel like I'm gaining ground right here. So we're going over some kind of mound. Howdy, Lavender. Welcome back. While I was eating, Perth came on and started a stream, so watched her for a bit, and Declared Dave came in for a bit. Declared Dave had a bit of a stream going. I think he might still be going. So we've had a rather easy trip, in my opinion, today. There wasn't much traffic. We got out of Chicago very early, so we avoided that for sure. Most welcome, me and Taz. Thanks, Amy. And he was tricky. He was in a new city. At least by the title, it looked like he was in a new city. Lady Jane out. That is Declared Dave Loves Suppressive Sherry. Declared Dave is a never in, but he's been interested in Scientology, and by the way, he's been interested in understanding and protesting Scientology for the past 20 years. I think that he'll always say that when he saw Tom Cruise dancing around on Oprah's couch, he thought, what kind of buffoonery is this? And he's one of Mark Bunker, not Mark Bunker. Yeah, Mark Bunker is another one. But for a never in, they're incredibly educated as to, they intentionally tried to learn as much as they could about Scientology to help others understand how corrupt and evil and dangerous it is as a cult. Somebody else mentioned the state capitol in the earlier chat, so I'm definitely going to try and take a ride by that. Most welcome, Nancy. Thank you for being here and taking the responsibility of the wrench. Oh, look, we're in St. Paul. There's a bridge to nowhere. Yet. I've got the map on the console. Excuse me. And there's a little lake to my left called Pig's Eye Lake. Always fun to understand how things get names. Kendra, it 100% has. Part of it is, right, we get to know one another a little bit better. Get to ask some questions. I get to show you how smart I am about things that are really unimportant. Like understanding how highway mile markers work. And hopefully, the chat also enjoyed the trip. Seeing a different part of the country if you're not from around here. We've talked about protesting styles. We've talked about the importance of the entire community, right? We need people watching the channels. We need people supporting the channels. We need people protesting. We need people who are educating. The second gens give us most of the ammo as protesters. Interesting, Angie. Like I always knew about the stock markets. I'm sorry, the stockyards in Chicago, And it makes sense that Minneapolis would be, you know, if you went southwest, you were going to St. Louis, and if you went northwest, you were going to Minneapolis. So, get over to Kellogg Street. Howdy, Donette. Great to have you here. Right. I'm trying to figure out who's from Fond du Lac. I'm seeing, although we're getting off the highway here, I saw the St. Paul's Cathedral ahead of us. Big white ivory building there. I'll take this turn really slowly, and you should see this white domed structure with the cross on top. And then it looks like ooh, that's 29 way ahead of me up there. I recognize that because I run down the Mississippi when I'm here with my friends. Several bridges that are going over the Mississippi, and we're heading definitely down into the business district. Brandmeier? Awesome. I did not know that. There looks to be a little food truck park here. Yeah, wouldn't be surprising to know that our friends from F Sciento might be in there trying to hand out things. So I might come back here and scout that out. Just like Chicago, they build their buildings over the roads. So this is Union Depot on our left. Definitely not watching the chat right now, so apologize. Just that right now that I'm in city traffic, I gotta actually pay attention to driving. Climbing up a hill here. As we cross this bridge, we go over a little island called Raspberry Island. I haven't really gotten my bearings because, again, I'm used to being here in Minneapolis, and I think that there's like an asylum. It might not still be operational. That's somewhere in this area, just off the like on an island in the middle of the river. Yeah, Amy, I don't think that many people do protest this. It's probably not set up for it, but also if there aren't that many ex-Scientologists here or people that are in the movement or people that are compelled, I'll be honest with you, it's hard to be the first one, right? You know, somebody's got to be the first one, but it's hard to be the first one. And it might just be that there's nobody that's been so moved to think about Yeah, yeah. There should be a direct path from one to the other. We're heading across the Mississippi, seeing some paddle wheel type boats down there. Oh, you know what? Let me. Okay, so there's Wabasha. I'm at 90 South. All right, I definitely have the impression I am not quite in the right place. I am going to pull into a parking spot real quick. And when I put the address in um, to the car, it told me it didn't have the house number, so I think that I might have had the wrong direction, north versus south on Wabasha. Hold, please. Not that. Not that. There we go. Search, recent searches. Ha, yes. I should not have crossed the river, I don't think. But we're going to go cross the river again. I'm going to stay in this parking lot just a bit, catch up on chat, see if there's anything there. So I am going to the St. Paul organization. It's going to be 505 North Wabasha. Yes, I do think that Anne, yeah, DTS, I hope so. Yes, Nancy Alley, you're right. Yep. All right. So I think, howdy, Pop Smurf. We are going to do a drive-by of the org. Although it is dry out right now, um, I still think I'm just going to do the drive-by right now. And then, like I said, I wanted to. There's a couple of impressive buildings here with the St. Paul Cathedral and the State Capitol building. So you're going to get a little bit of windy wanders. Yep, Lady Jane, I'm up here because tomorrow is my Tony's celebration of life, and I was very impressed with him when I met him in Chicago. He and I have chatted a couple of times since then, and big fan of Natalie, and wanted to come up and show my support. And just thought that, hey, while we're up there, why don't we go and audit protest the St. Paul org? When I was in Madison a couple of weeks ago, I looked up because I have very much assumed that Madison would be a place where there'd be a Scientology. I did not find much about Scientology in Wisconsin at all. Want to avoid that big semi truck sitting in the middle of the street up there. Wait, Ann, I'm going the right way now, I think. Right? When I turned left to go across the bridge, I was going the wrong way. I think. I hope. We'll get there. And by the way, I understand that it can be extremely frustrating trying to give somebody on YouTube directions because of the lag. Like when I was trying to help Nance and Korn a couple of weeks ago when they went to I can't remember if it was a music concert or what, but they were someplace in the city and trying to get back to their car. And by the time I would say turn right, they were already a minute further up the road. Beautiful mural on the building over here. Gray duck. So we're 4th Street, 5th Street, which would be where you would think you would find a 505. Let me get over to the other side of the street real quick. All right, so this is a stupid town. I'm between 5th and 6th Street, and the house addresses are 378 right now. Now, there is a pedestrian bridge that links the Scientology building with its parking garage, and I do see 2 pedestrian bridges ahead of me. I just don't know which one might be the Scientology one. I did see people in the closest one. Oh. Yeah, so in this pedestrian bridge right now, you see 2 adults and 2 children. But again, I don't know if this one's the Scientology building or if this one is, or if the next one is the Scientology building. It looks like it's the one that headway that's further up looks to be the Scientology building. Oh, I see it now. On the left there, Scientology. Let's see if I can do a U-turn and give you guys. Oh, look at the beautiful church ahead of us. You're gonna watch me do a nice 17-point turn. So there's a little park in this building next to me. I'm going to slow down here to kind of give you guys a view of. the Church of Scientology there. Oh, good. I got the red light. Take this off here for just a second. So we've got Church of Scientology right there. Um, yeah, I'm not seeing much activity here. The lights are on. The old lights are on, but nobody's home. Let me see if I can switch you down to normal camera. So there we've got a no parking here, but I'll just wait until somebody kind of kicks me out. What do we got over here? It looks like it's a residential building across the street, so 10 West Exchange. What else do we have here? Oh, their banners are really, really worn down. Put this back up here. Uh, we'll take a ride around the block, and sorry, you're going to see the camera mount, but you get a little bit of a wider view. So I'm going to do the 4 right-hand turns and go around the block here that the church is on. So the church is to our right and a little bit behind us. We're on Wabasha coming up to St. Peter. Wow, there's another big church over here. Oh, that's a one-way, so we're not going to go that way. I can definitely park over here. They've got hourly parking. I'm going to head up to St. Joseph. Take a right-hand turn on St. Joseph. Ooh, now there's a sports arena right here. Big business. Uh, there's an opportunity center here. I will say that looks like some people that are on hard times or tough times here. I can see the St. Paul Cathedral ahead of me. I'm going to turn down 10th Street and make our way back to, oh, that's a neat little area up here. Yeah, my guess is Nancy or Natalie has plenty of stuff to do today. We'll take one more run by the church and then we'll set our sights for St. Paul Cathedral. As I take a left, the church is going to be on my left at the end of this block. going to scout the garage there as well. So we're at the corner of Exchange and Wabasha. And boy, there's a church ahead of me, a church behind me, and the cult to the left of me. If somebody wants to look up Upper Mississippi Academy, I'd be interested to see if that is an applied scholastics location. So you've got the Upper Mississippi Academy right there. Oh my gosh, and the State House. You know what I think I'm going to do is, if you'll all stick with me, I'm going to find a parking spot, and I'm going to get everything ready to be on foot, and we're just going to walk the neighborhood, see what there is here. You know, like I said, I need to find a parking spot. I'll get the gimbal all set up, and we'll go explore the neighborhood. Turn it back a little bit. Again, now you're going to see Scientology on the right-hand side at this light ahead of us. Folks, I'm going to actually cut the live right now. I don't want Scientology knowing where I park. I'm going to, please stay tuned. I will start another live very quickly.